new one. There's our old one.
Welcome back to another Low Rancho video, and today we're going to see if we can get this 1964 Mercury Marauder running and driving again. Let's go. Yeah, so like I said, this is a 1964 Mercury Marauder, 2-door, hardtop. I think it's actually a Montclair trim level on it. Just some backstory on this car. I was actually given this car for free, which is absolutely awesome, but I was given this car because the owner, who is technically the original owner, it was his great-grandpa's or his grandpa's car. So, and he said he'd probably never get around to it, so he gave it to me because he knew I would get around to it and work on it and drive it like I do. So that's the story on this, how I got this. So technically original owner, the factory air conditioned car, 390 automatic. I really haven't looked the car over at all. I mean, we dropped it off here and then moved it here, and that's where it sat. I did take a wheel off it to go use on that Ranchero I did. If you haven't seen that, go check out that video. But other than that, I have not looked this car over like at all. So my goal today is to get it maybe running and driving, so I can get it off this area and over to where I can maybe do some brake work and stuff like that. But the tags last say that it was registered in 1987, so I don't know if that's true or not, but I would believe it. So let's take a look at this thing. So as you can see, 1964, they are, and Mercury, which is essentially just a Galaxy with a different body on it. This car is absolutely huge. I hope it shows in the camera, but this thing is just massive. It's been sitting here for a little while. I did set it here, so it's that. But so it's pretty straight for the most part. It's got a little damage here where it looks like a tree branch fell on the trim. It's got the old dealer tag, which is pretty cool. And then all the taillights are broken, which sucks. There's a gas fill, it looks like. You pull it up or push it down. Push it down. The gas filler. Pretty cool. The bumper's pretty rusty right there. But this car is huge. It's pretty crazy how big it is. It's got the fake vinyl or convertible top thing on it. Like I said, I did take a wheel off of it to put on that Ranchero that I did a revival on. I do have a jack stand under there, but I don't know where it went. So it's under there somewhere. And then you can see this fender got hit by a tractor, supposedly. That's the story on that. But the rest of the car, really straight. That is the only like significant damage on it. You got some rust here. And then some pretty good rust right here. Like I said, I want to get it out of here so I can kind of look it over a little better, because I don't know how good it is. I do know the interior is pretty nice. So we have checked that out. And I just want to show, look how thick these doors are. I mean, a whole hand width almost. They are just massive. So here's the inside. Like I said, factory air conditioned cars. So look at this. These are the air vents. You pull them all down. It's like that the whole width of the dash. And you got the cool see-through steering wheel. And it looks like we have 18,396,000 miles. So 18,000 miles. And probably rolled over. It's probably 100. But yeah, it's definitely 100. but look at the seats. They're in very good shape. The only real flaw in here is you got some burnt from just sitting, and then the headliner has started to fall down. That's what's all over the seat. But interior is beautiful, and two-door hardtop, so you got the fancy roll-down windows, no pillars. And these doors are heavy. Alright, so let's take a look in the engine bay. Oh, whoa! See that praying mantis? Holy crap. I forgot to get this hood open. Alrighty. So there we are. 390. Weird engine. But it's all there, it looks like. You got power brakes, which probably, hopefully that booster's good, but I doubt it, but hopefully it's good. And then you got power steering. I do not own a car with power steering yet, so that's pretty cool. And of course 390 FE. So you have this really weird, so there's your intake, and then there's your head. It's like half and half in here. So your valves, your push rods go through the intake. So if you want to change your intake on these, you got to take your valve train apart. This is a 2-barrel car instead of a 4-barrel. So you could get a 390 2-barrel or a 390 4-barrel or a 427 in these. You have some uninvited wasps that want to get in here. So those are your options on these. I think I'm going to throw the wheel on and then try to pull this into a shaded area. So right now it's literally in the only sunny spot in the yard, and it's hot, so I think I'm going to do that, get it into a shade area, and then we'll start working on it. It might be hard to see, but look at this jack stand. That was not like that when I put it here. It must have rained a lot. Alright, well, there it was sitting. It hasn't been here that long, so it's not that dramatic, but maybe I can get my jack stand out of the... Look at this root. This thing grew like up through the engine bay. Come here, buddy. Holy shit. Oh. What is that? A power cable. What the hell? What just happened? So we got the car moved to a little better location here, so we can actually work on it. I guess let's take the air cleaner off and see if we got what we got under here. Got this little two barrel here. Everything looks pretty complete. I don't know what's going on back there with the heater hoses. It's quite the homemade looking thing, I think. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest here, I know absolutely nothing about Ford engines, so this is gonna be quite the learning experience, I would say. Let's see. Any coolant? I highly doubt it. And dry. What a surprise. So yeah, that's we don't have a radiator cap. So that is our reservoir, I guess. I don't know. This is a factory air conditioning car. See the brackets down there? But the guy who bought this brand new, or newer, didn't believe in air conditioning. So he took all the compressor and everything off. So it does not have any of that anymore. So we got a little 2-barrel here. Auto light, I think it'd be a 2100 or something like that. Let's check on the old dipstick, see what we got in there. There's a large spider web right there. So. Right on the full mark, right with the spider webs. Let's get those off of there. So, right on the full mark. Perfect. Good enough for me. Okay, now we gotta get this dipstick back in here. Okay. Yeah, just mosey on in there. Come on. There we go. Okay. Don't know what else to really check. So it's got that. Guess I can check the old transmission fluid. It has that too, and wow, it looks really good actually. Very red. So, this might be a runner here. So I guess first step here. I don't know how long it's ran or been since it's ran. So let's get these spark plugs out, and I actually have new spark plugs. We'll throw them in. Whoa, look what I just saw. I don't know if you can see that down there. I guarantee you can. Come on. Alright, right behind there, that is fluid coming out of the radiator. So the radiator is probably guaranteed bad, but that's still radiator fluid coming out. So probably still has fluid in it somewhere, which is either good or bad. As long as it's coolant, it's good. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, first step, let's rip the spark plugs out and put some Marvel Mystery Oil down in the cylinders, and then we'll go from there. Get this spider webs out of here. We'll just do one at a time. Yeah, these are some old school plugs, and they are cracked. So I do have new plug wires too, so I might throw those out. Ooh. All right, first plug. What do we got? Very rich. So it's running pretty rich, but that plug is rough. Not gonna lie. Yeah, this plug. They're rusty as all get out. So I do have new plugs. We'll just throw them in now since we're doing this. Let's do one at a time here. Just a little bit in there. Okay. Just get the cylinders lubed up. Alright, I need towels. Alright, I'm gonna get all these plugs pulled and then I'll show them to you and get some Marvel thrown on the cylinders. This is the number 3, I don't know, 3 on this side. Look at it. I could not even get this off. It was so rusted. It just ripped the wire. The plug looks all right, but these plug wires are so rusted. Good thing I got new ones, because wow. Okay, these are the 4 on the passenger side. They're all pretty evenly, you know, rich, but they're pretty good. These plugs are in bad shape. I can't believe they would do anything. So good thing I got some new ones, replace those. And then we'll throw some new plug wires on there as well. But that's what those look like. Now onto the driver's side. That's not good. Damn. This thing is in there. Ah, there we go. Yeah. Must just had a bad angle on it. Alright, so here's all the plugs up this side. They're all just as even as the other side was, and they look fine, so nothing to worry about there. No water signs at all. Got some NGKs, V-Powers, whatever. They were cheap and on Rock Autos, so that's what we're gonna put in there. Positive. Ugh. All right. Any fires? That back up. Any fires? No fires. All right. This did come with keys, which is awesome. Absolutely nothing. I have no power. It's probably those battery cables. All right, back from the parts store. Got battery cables and a battery. My best advice for battery cables, if you know you're going to do some work on a car and you're ordering stuff off Rock Auto or whatever, buy battery cables on there. They are way, way cheaper. They are crazy expensive and overpriced at the parts store, but I didn't do that, so here I am buying overpriced battery cables. I've just had another realization that the alternator is gone. I wasn't even paying attention. But yep, it is definitely gone. So that sucks. I hope all the brackets are there for it still. Looks like they are. Yeah, it looks like they're all there still. But I saw that belt dangling there, and I'm like, oh, what's that? And yep, it's all gone. Damn, that's gonna fall off. Huh, I don't know why this is all loose. A little concerning. Does that go up there like that? I don't know. I'll have to look at how that goes on there. Alright, new ground cable, new positive cable. I'm surprised they even had red cables. I thought they got rid of those. That's kind of nice. Come on. Ah, look at that. We still have 0 power. Alright, let's hook this up because I can't get power into the cab for some reason, or the key's not doing anything. So wires are probably chewed up somewhere. So I guess let's see if she cranks over. Sure does. So I guess that's something. I don't know. Power straight to the coil. Get it nice and hot. Put some gas down the cob. Oh, where's the... Nah, I can't fill the balls. That will also wedge this open. And I guess let's see if she runs. I have no idea if we have spark or not, to be honest. Oh, I hate checking for spark. No, okay. Got some coarse sandpaper, the points. I should have done it at the beginning, but I was like, maybe we'll get lucky. You never get that lucky, so. Anyways, it's back on there. The cap doesn't look the greatest. Hopefully it does something. And let's try it. And bring the thunder. Okay. Tried to pop off. Is the linkage free? Quiet. Really quiet. It's really, really quiet. I think it's trying to pull its own fuel now. Nah, maybe not. Okay, we're gonna see if we can get it to idle now a little better. Oh, that was a lot. Forgot the lid. That was a lot of gas. Okay. Probably helps if I put the spark on both sides. Where's the other end of this wire? There it is. Yep, probably helps if we had spark. It must be getting gas now. It's trying to run. Maybe. Well, that was eventful. There's really not much damage, thankfully, but see this? It's hot. There's a little fitting here in the hose. I did not see that. Somebody put that in there and it was leaking fuel, hit the coil wire. Why is there fitting there with no hose clamps on it? So that was the excitement for the night. As far as I'm aware, I don't think it did anything too bad. I mean, probably not great to some stuff. I could not get it to go out right here. It must have burnt one of the bushings or something, because it would not go out. Charred that wire. That wire's done for. Man, that's hot. My little jumper wire is what I think started all this, so that's awesome. Because I went to go pull this off and didn't see that fuel leak, and then whoosh, there it went. Alright, we're back another day on the Mercury Marauder here. It's dark out. We didn't end on the greatest note yesterday, and I know I'll probably get comments like, oh, why would you use the fluid that you did to try to put out the fire? Well, it's all I could grab, and yes, they are flammable to an extent, but they're also water-based, so they did put out the fire, actually. So we have that going for us. Coolant or antifreeze can put out a fire. It worked better than the windshield washer fluid that I used first, so probably not the greatest things to use, but I had no water on standby, so it is what it is on that kind of thing. But so today tonight we're going to try to just pull the tank out of this thing, kind of inspect it, see what it's like. I kind of doubt it's good, but we can order a new one. I just want to verify, get that done, and then I'm also going to clean out the trunk. I have a fuel cell that I could put in there. We want to just do that for a while because this trunk is huge and plenty of room for that. I was told these were in here, but I had not seen them myself, so. At first glance, we have, well, pretty obviously, we have two doors in here. That one's pretty bashed in. And we got another one underneath it, it looks like. Got some hubcaps. Spare tires way up there. Got some trim down there, I can see. So let's get this pulled out of here and see if there's anything else underneath this door or doors. This might be hard to see, but see if I can get you down in there without putting myself down in there. There is a very large snakeskin back in there. I wish you could see how massive this trunk was, or is. It's hard to see on camera, but here. So we'll measure to the back seat. Well, yeah. We'll measure to the back seat here. Okay, I'm on the back seat, out to here, 68 inches from the back seat to here. So let's be more realistic, you know, from your wheel. So at an angle, obviously there, but from your wheel to the back, 43 to 44 inches. And then this car is, so from fender to fender, 78 inches. I mean, it's hard to see on camera, but this car is massive, and this trunk is even more massive. I mean, you can fit anything you want in here, which is awesome, because I'm going to use it like that. Probably not, but put some tires in there. So I think I'm going to get it jacked up here a little bit, and then see what it's going to take to get the fuel tank out of here. Alright, let's take a look under here. So, first thing, there's a lot of spider webs. A little concerning. And this frame, it honestly looks alright. It's pretty heavily flaked, but I don't see any spots that are too bad. This is shot. Look at that. Ooh. You know, it is kind of nice though. Look at this tank. Where the bed liners come off is very shiny. So we can only hope that it looks like that on the inside, but kind of doubt it. It's a big Ford 9-inch rear end. There ain't much else to look at under here. This thing is, you know, she's a little crunchy. I won't lie. She's a little crunchy looking. Alright, so although this tank looks good, like underneath here, if you hit it, it's solid. So I guess we'll cut these lines and stuff, then take the straps off and see what it looks like in there. Look at that big mama jama. Oh, hell no, dude. Look at that. That's what's left of the build sheet. Alright, so got the tank out. You can't really tell if there's anything. Yeah, it doesn't really feel like there's anything in it. But it's cool to see that insulation on it still. And then under here, it's gonna be dark, but I mean, dude, look at that floor. Super solid, no rust. So that's pretty nice. It's really cool to see the build sheet. I've never actually seen a build sheet on a car I've done, so that's pretty awesome. I'm just gonna call this tank shot and order a new one, honestly. I mean, this is pretty bad. It's not like, I mean, it might be usable, but I don't really think so, to be honest. So I got done what I wanted to tonight. I think I want to get this car outside tomorrow. It's kind of, I just got it in here and it's not very easy to get in here, but anyways, I want to get outside so I can do some really dirty work, like get this trunk clean. I don't want to do that in here. All clean, and it does not look as good as we initially thought. This middle part, pretty solid where the gas tank was. That is a little less than ideal. That is a little less than ideal. That's also a little less than ideal. And then I was like, what are these weird patches right here? That is rust and gone underneath there. I peeled that one up. That's how I found that out, because there's two of them in the same spot, so they must have rusted there. It looks like there was a salt bag or something sitting right here, because this is really pitted, and you got like little sprinkled pits everywhere, so I think there was salt sitting in here at one point. That is absolutely gone, and guess why? Because that's right where the mouse nest was. So all of that is just so thin. I mean, I hit that with the hose and it went through, so there's that. But much cleaner, much nicer. I want to get down in the little galleys better, but I don't have the right thing on my vacuum. So there's that. Alright, that'll be clean enough for now. I just wanted to get the headliner out of my face, and mostly wanted to be able to get in the car and not feel like I'm going to catch the craziest disease known to man. So I think I achieved that. So next step, we might vacuum some stuff off the engine real quick, but I'm going to replace the starter solenoid and see if I can get any power into the engine or into the cab. I don't think it's because of that, but that I think is bad. So I'll play a starter solenoid and then probably start tracing wires and see what the mice have eaten up. All right, so we got our fuel cell put in the back here, and yes, this thing looks really rusty and nasty and whatever. I just kind of cleaned it out, as you just saw. I just did a clip of it, but it's really gross fuel in there, so I put a bunch of Marvel and fresh gas in there. Hopefully get rid of that, and I'm just gonna run that line down to the factory fuel line, because the fuel pump does work on the car, so hopefully this will be a resolution for that. And I got this little guy here, which hopefully is going to bypass the neutral safety switch, which is not working on the column, and that's why I do not have a key in the cab. So this little guy right here plugs into that little guy on the column, which is the neutral safety switch. And if you see, when I move the shifter, that little white thing does not move. It's supposed to move with the shifter, meaning it's not working. So in theory, this little four plug right here runs your reverse lights and your neutral safety switch. So if I remember right, this side will be my neutral safety. So I'll stick some wire in there and see if it works. All right, so I got a little jumper wire in there, and now when I hit my key, cranks up. So awesome. That'll work for now. These little neutral safety switches, $200, and you can't buy them new. So whenever I get a little more roadworthy and stuff, I'll take that out and try to rebuild it, hopefully, because I ain't spend $200 on new ones. I'll just leave that little jumper wire in there for that. So anyways, let's hook up a fuel system and see if we can get this thing to run. Well, you can kind of see in the light. It's nice and smoky now. I got it to run off the fuel cell here, and it runs pretty good. The accelerator pump shot on the engine. And then we also have, I don't know if I can get you up in there. Yeah, right there. Big fuel leak on the line. So there's that I gotta fix. And then also, the carburetor is leaking. No leaks down there, but carb's leaking pretty bad right there. So the next step, we're gonna rebuild the carburetor. We have a kit for that, and then cut that little line out and replace it with a little soft line, and then check the rest of the line and make sure there's no other spots. But It's dark out, I've made a mess, so time to clean up. So I'm gonna take this off. I got a rebuild kit for it. I hope it's the right one. And we will reseal this, especially down in here where it's leaking the most. So. All right, I got the car rebuilt-ish and thrown back on. Let's hook up the battery cables and see if we got any leaks. I hate this positive cable I got. It does not fit very well, but let's crank her over and see if we can get fuel up to the top. I can't believe I just forgot to film that, but it moved. So now I will prove that it moves again because I forgot. All right, working on the Marauder again here. I did acquire the highest quality Chinesium radiator. This was $150 on eBay. It is by Work Radiators. We'll see how good it is. It's 150 bucks. The radiators are the same as the Galaxy, so if you're ever in the market, there you go. That's a little bit of knowledge for you. So, very small radiator. I think it's a 3-core. So, I'm gonna try to make this quick and get the old one out, get this one in, get some new hoses on there, and go from there. Just touching some questionable stuff down there. I can't get the fan shroud off down there, so I'm going to have to take the fan off so I can just pull the radiator up and then deal with it when I get it up here, I guess.
6.5 hours later.
Probably fine.
hanging up on. Okay. There's our new one. There's our old one. There's the big hole that was in it. That's why it's leaking so bad. So hopefully this will fix our problem. All right, so I've been filming for a while and it's dark now, obviously. But what I've been working on is I did get this new alternator. It's a 4-to-1 wire, and look how fancy that thing is. Oh yeah, fancy alternator. So I did get that, and I was like, I'll kind of just wait to put it on. But I was like, radiator's already out. I already have room. Let's just do it now. So I got a piece of all thread in there, acting as my bolt, because I don't have a bolt that long. So I need to get a bolt to go from there to there, and you can see my spacers, some lug nuts in there, and then got some hardware there. This big bracket is where I'm assuming the AC used to mount, but I could be wrong. It could have mounted over there. I don't know. Anyways, that's what I've been working on. It's kind of been a pain in the ass, I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot of taking on and off and putting spacers behind washers. Just like try to line up the pulleys. I think I got them pretty close now. I'll just have to run to the hardware store tomorrow and get a really long bolt for that. So that's kind of where I'm at right now with that. All right, so I did have to weld that up. It was broken right there, so I welded that up. Now this should be ready to throw on. This is such an odd bracket. Alright, I got the alternator on, brackets on, belts on. So now we're gonna, I haven't decided yet. When I took this off, I had to do the, take the fan off and then the radiator out. I think I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna put the radiator in and probably grab a piece of cardboard or something to protect it, and then put the fan on after. It's just easier because of the shroud and stuff on the bottom. New radiator going in. This is the old hose for the top, but honestly it's in pretty good shape, so keep it around. But I already had it, so I made this one. They match pretty close. It doesn't have that bend in it, but I hope that this will be alright. If not, I'll just clean this up and put it back on. It's still very pliable and pretty good shape actually, but let's throw this on. Engine bay back together here. I need to hook my wire up to the alternator so it can charge, and then I need to figure out why, or like how to get power to what I need to do with the voltage regulator. I know I need to do something, so, but this is all in there. New hose is on. Radiator's super sturdy in there. Fan shroud doesn't hit. So I mean, we're making good progress. It's super foggy and like humid out here, as you can see. So I don't know if there's something wrong with the camera, but then you see our new radiator. A lot more room without that condenser in there. Hopefully it cools a little better. I don't know. I never noticed it getting hot anyways. So okay, is what it is there. New hose on the bottom down there. Got our belts on. Filled up with coolant when it's light out so I can see if there's any leaks or anything. So I think tonight I'm just gonna run that wire for the alternator and then call it. All right, so I cranked this over and I heard like weird sounds and sparks, and the water pump pulley was hitting this bolt. So I need to make this shorter or find a shorter bolt to throw in the water pump. It's on that hole right there. So pretty black, but doesn't look too bad. If you're ever doing an oil change, these little gaskets are the best ones with the little rubber on the inside and then the metal. Oh shit. Yep, I just made a mess. We are going to attempt to pull that into here. It barely fits, and I need to get closer to the passenger side than the driver's side. So this might go very well, or I'm going to destroy the side of the car. So I'm going to film it just for you guys. Alright, what I hit. I have a suspicion that there's something in the carburetor that's not letting it run very good. So I'm going to take the carburetor back off, clean it out again. Then I'm going to add an inline fuel filter because I didn't do that, and I probably should have, but live and learn. So we're going to take the carb off, take it apart, clean it out again, see if we see anything noticeable. And then also going to maybe dig into the brakes, but carburetors first. All right, I'm back working on the Mercury. Been working for a little bit. I put a fuel filter on it and put the carburetor back on. So nothing crazy. I did want to tackle the exhaust leak at the collector. So what I did was cut the exhaust off, which is really smart. And then this is supposed to be a donut gasket, but it is very rusty and gone. So we're gonna see if we can get this off and then get a new one of these and throw this back on. Then I'll have to get a little like thingy to fill that gap. But for now, we're just gonna see if we can get this off and get one of these. All right, I got the exhaust gasket off. It literally had welded itself into here, which is insane. So I gotta straighten that back out a little bit, but we'll see if we can get another one to fit in here. All right, so I kind of gave up on the engine for now. I did get another carburetor to try. It's a Holley 2300, so 2-barrel. We'll try that, but for now we're gonna do the brakes because it doesn't really do as much good to drive the car if not your brakes. So we're gonna start with the master cylinder and then go down to the wheel cylinders and the soft lines like usual. So let's kind of see how everything is, but we're gonna do the front first, and then the back might be a little hard because it's in the shed here. So and start with the master and then go from there. Pressure switch and our little adapter swapped over. We got fluid in here, we got it bench bled. Time to throw this back on and proceed with the rest of the brakes. Okay, new master's on, all buttoned up. Now we will probably do, well, I'll just lift up the metal and we'll do that side and this side, front wheel cylinders and soft lines. is not the greatest position to do brakes. I'm on a ledge, but I'm just gonna swap the wheel cylinder out and the soft line real quick. Well, probably not real quick, but you guys have seen me do this a million times on the channel, so it kind of is what it is. But if anything crazy happens, I'll let you know. But it's hot out here. I need my fan on me. It'll probably be loud. I don't know if you can hear me right now. So I'm gonna swap this out and listen to some music, which I can't do on YouTube. So let's get it done. I already brake cleaned them. They're pretty rusty. That's pretty cool. Made in USA. Love to see that, except for they're bad. So this cup is just dry as could be, and there's a bunch of crap in there. So we'll get that out, get that off, and get this replaced. The passenger side front done, and I had to move the car out to get the mower out. So the car's back in. We're gonna get the driver's side front done, and then I got to make a new brake line for the passenger side and probably for the driver's side as well. I might as well. I did get this fancy new brake tool right here. So this makes it much easier, and it should be pretty easy to make lines if I have to. So. Be gone, spiders. This fitting came right loose. I think the brake, or like all that grease I just chipped off, actually saved this. And bleeder on, the hose is on, not hooked up, and then grease behind the points where it needs to be. Made sure the adjuster's working, it is. Got the cable back on, put some grease on it too. Put some grease up here where they pivot. Pretty much just grease everything except for your pads. That would be my recommendation. Night. Working on the Marauder, and we're doing the rear brakes now. I already did the other side. I figured I'd show this side. I had a hell of a time with the other side getting the hub off, or the drum off, so hopefully I don't have that problem this time. Also, I had to kill a lot of brown recluses, so like before, this car is still very, very infested in brown recluses. One running away. Oh. Big one. Probably some in there. That thing was stuck. My hands are pretty beat up, but it did chip the rotor, but it's on the outside, so it should be all right. Or the drum, sorry. This one's pretty rough. It was free here, like it didn't have a problem moving, but the rest of it was not free. And look at all the spiders in there. Wow. I got everything thrown back together here. Got some grease behind the stuff. This brake shoe is not in the greatest shape, I won't lie, but it is riveted, so I'm not too worried about it, but they're pretty rough. So I definitely need brake shoes on this side, but for now it'll be fine. And then this drum's pretty rough too. She's just rusty. Replaced the lines on the back. I broke this one, but the other side I didn't break, but I just don't like the look of it. And I got a new fancy tool, so I'm gonna replace the lines on here and then the soft line tomorrow night. Here's my night setup. Luckily it's beautiful outside, it's like 70 something. So this wasn't too bad. Get the wheel thrown back on, and then tomorrow we'll get those brake lines taken care of and see what we can do. It's been a few days since I filmed. I got the brake split on this. And then I was struggling with the carburetor, the auto light that was on here. So I got a hold of a Holley 2-barrel, threw that on here. That's what we have on there now, and it runs phenomenally. So we got the brakes bled and got that carb thrown on there. The choke's a little messed up, so I got to swap the chokes, but for now it works just fine. The brakes are not great. I think the booster's bad. It is not the greatest thing, so there's that, but the engine runs really good. We'll fire her up right now, actually. I mean, you really can't ask for much more than that. It's got the pretty bad exhaust leak still, but I mean, this thing's running awesome. So I'm gonna air up this tire because it goes flat every day, and we're gonna try to drive this thing down the road. All right, let's drive it. Fired right up. It's running really good. It does kind of want to die a little bit. And as you can hear, the horn works great. The brakes are sketchy. I don't think the master cylinder's working at all. But I'm gonna be lucky if my tires don't blow up on this drive. But this is roadworthy. I mean, kinda. I have taillights, I have blinkers, I have brakes, not brake lights, but I have brakes. And I mean, this thing is a cruiser. Fucking huge car though. This baby's a behemoth. There ain't no way around that. Be a good spot for some videos. Give you guys a little walk around of this baby. Beautiful sunset. Nice abandoned house, but oh man, look at this thing. Such a cool car. I'm very fortunate to get it. My tires are about to explode, but we'll ignore that. But dude, look at this car. I mean, anybody would love to have this thing. Huge land yacht from the 60s. Listen to that single exhaust 390 2-barrel. Nothing special, but she's a beauty. Interior is gonna clean up so nice. Power steering is a wonderful thing. Oh yeah, she spins them. And yeah, this thing just glides over the bumps. All right, that'll be all for this video on this 1964 Mercury Marauder Montclair is the trim on it. I've got a lot of hours into this, so this might be a little longer video. And I didn't even get the thing washed, so we're gonna keep this car. It's badass. I've got a lot of work to do still, but it is roadworthy. I would drive it far right now, but the brakes are a little sketchy and I don't want to put anybody else at risk. So there's that. That's my excuse why I'm not gonna do it. So, I hope you guys enjoyed, and like, subscribe, and follow, because we will definitely have more content on this. Cleaning the interior, and then maybe fixing the brakes a little bit. And there is a potential, very, very high potential, that we'll be painting this car in the future. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and make sure to like, subscribe to see more content on this sweet Mercury 1964 Mercury Marauder.